youth center based with Ashish Kumar Guru, Chinta Gopinath Guru. That time once one devotee kind of bathroom में होता है ना buckets होती है. So one devotee asked कि मुझे वो bucket दो, give me that bucket. So that another devotee he kicked that bucket. उसने वो लात मार के वो devotee की तरफ सरकाया. So it was a normal gesture. वो तो plastic के bucket, it's a non-living thing, but still he kicked it and he passed on to that devotee. So that time Gaur Gopal Guru was there. He said, we are not Mayavadis. हम व्यक्तिवादी हैं, हम भगवान को व्यक्ति मानते हैं और हम nowadays even human beings have numbers. They are just numericals. They are just statistics. No one considers human beings valuable more than their serial number. So don't become so inhuman that you start kicking even objects. No, we should respect them also. So if you want to give that bucket to someone, hand it over to that devotee. Don't kick that. So sorry, why I quoted this? To say that when we on online sessions, it becomes more impersonal if devotees, we don't see devotees in front of us, and then so I request that if possible, see, so that you all can have a live darshan of each other. So we'll begin. It's a very important verse. First, we will read the verse as instructed. And this is, see, if none of us can remember the whole teaching of Kunti verses, we should try and remember as many prayers given in Srimad Bhagavatam, prayers of Uttara, prayers of Vishmadev, prayers of Kardam Rishi, prayers of Kunti Maharani, prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, prayers of Guru Maharaj. Bhagavatam is all about prayers. When you only go by the stories, they're just small stories. One devotee prayed and Krishna came and helped and complete. But if you, the main crux of all pastimes are the prayers of those devotees. So, why? Because those prayers actually give us the crux of what those devotees are made of. हमें वो समझ में आता है कि वो भक्त क्या है? What is their material? What are these devotees made up of? When we read their prayers, and therefore, for any pastime, prayers are the crux of those pastimes. And even in those prayers, there are few very critical shlokas which are very crucial. So this is one of them, vision of notices. So we will first try and read this. Namaha Pankajanaಭಾಯ Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre. There are many tunes to this. Namaha Pankajanaಭಾಯ Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre. So here, Queen Kunti is glorifying Lord Krishna, and because we all know the etiquette of taking darshan, which is whenever we try to take darshan of the Lord, we try to take from his lotus feet. First, we should take darshan of the lotus feet of the Lord. I don't know how many of you have heard of Sant Tukaram. Sant Tukaram के बारे में किसने सुना है क्या? Sant Tukaram Maharaj. He has written a very beautiful shloka.
Yes, Prabhuji.
किसको? सुंदर ते ध्यान उभे सुंदर ते ध्यान. So you know, even he follows the sequence. He follows the sequence. Have you noticed this? किसको पता है ये क्या है? आगे के स्टैंजास क्या है? सुंदर रहते ध्यान उभय विटेवरी. There he say it's a very beautiful form of the Lord, which is standing on the brick. So therefore his first focus is on the lotus feet of the Lord. And then he says, Kara Katevari Theonia. Then he lifts up the focus of the person who is hearing this abundance. Kara Katevari Theonia. Then he says his hands are on his waist. So then he moves up to the waist of the Lord. And then he says, Tudishi Hara Gada Kasi Pitambar. Kasi Pitambar yani he is wearing Pitambar dhoti. So therefore his attention is still on the bottom side of the Lord. And then he moves on to the chest of the Lord, that Tulsi Haragara, that he is wearing Tulsi Mala. And then he Kunti Kaustuba Mani Virajita. Then he moves on to the next part. Kunti Kaustuba कौस्तुभ मणि विराजिता Sundara Teva. So then he moves on to the Kanti Kaustuba. And then he last and he goes Makara Kundale Kadapati Srava. That Makara Kundal, then he moves on to the actual face of the Lord. That Makara Kundal is always yes, and then Raho Nirantara Hechi Rupa. Let my attention always be on the face of the Lord. So that is the ideal etiquette of taking darshan of the Lord. That first lotus feet, then thighs, then his pitambar, then his kamar kati, and then his vakshasthal, srivats, and then his neck, and then ears, and then the whole face. So that is how we should take darshan of the Lord. But here, Tulsi Maharani is breaking that sequence. She is actually breaking that sequence. What is she doing? Namaha Pankajanaabhaya. Oh Krishna, your navel is like a lotus. Namo Pankaja Maline. कि आपने तुल पंकज कमल की माला पहनी है and नमो पंकज नेत्राय and then पंकजाग्र. Then she goes back to the lotus feet. So she begins with navel and then she goes on to she begins navel. Okay. So with this, why? Because she's in this pastime, she's actually playing the part of aunt of Sri Krishna, wherein she is playing part of aunt of Sri Krishna. So she's apparently on material level. She's elder to Krishna, so she does not want to embarrass Krishna while saying this. So therefore, she begins from navel, and then she goes on to the chest, and then she goes on to the eyes, or so to say, the face of Krishna, and finally she goes back to the lotus feet of Krishna. Okay. So here we will read the last two. Those who think of something impersonal are not yogis. See, we began with discussion of personalism and impersonalism. Prabhupada is giving a clear-cut instruction on this. Those who think of something impersonal are not yogis. Their meditation simply involves undergoing more and more labor. Klesho adhikataras tesham avyakta sapta chetasam. And they cannot reach anything substantial. You were all in my previous class or is this a different group? माता जी ये previous class के लोग हैं कि अलग है? Okay, no issues, no issues. So here Prabhupada is trying to say that those who think of something impersonal are not yogis. Their meditation simply involves undergoing more and more labor. So we will try and explain this statement as much as possible. Let me tell you first. This is my favorite topic. I generally begin any new batch I take. I try to discuss this because we need to understand whether we have understood this concept or not. See, for any spiritual practitioners, the first stage of any spiritual practice is first stage is there are vikarmis. Vikar means you can say papi, atheist बोल सकते हैं अपन नास्तिक. Okay, they don't believe in God. They are only aiming self gratification. And then they don't follow any rules and regulations. Mother class,
Prabhuji, please write in English, no?
Okay, sorry, mother. No issue. No, there are some Sanskrit terms which kind of first is Vikarmi, or you can say atheist. So they don't feel the responsibility towards anyone because they don't believe in God. They feel this is the only life they have and enjoy it as much as possible. So their philosophy is like candle. Sorry, ice cream. Have you heard of this? Ice cream philosophy and candle philosophy. Have you heard of this? Ice cream philosophy what?
No, Mother. No, Prabhuji.
Huh?
No, we don't know, Mother Prabhuji.
Okay, enjoy before it melts. And second category is enlighten before it melts. Understood the difference? So materialistic people, they feel life is like ice cream. Whether we enjoy it or not, it's going to melt. So before, let me enjoy as much as possible. My smoking kar lunga, I will drink, I will eat poison, I will do cigarette smoking, everything I will do. I will go to pubs and clubs, because if I don't enjoy, anyways, my life is getting melting. My life is getting ruined. So they feel life is only about enjoying before it melts. So they feel life is like ice cream. But devotees think life is like candle. We are not supposed to enjoy it. We are supposed to enlighten ourselves and enlighten others before our life melts. So we will not get into much detail of this, but this category. So these Vikarmis are of this ice cream category. They feel enjoy as much as possible. So they don't have any responsibility. Hello, no problem. फोटो जा बाबा का म्हणले जा म्हणले का उतर म्हणले डेपोत जा चला ठीक आहे आणि गाडी कुठपर्यंत आली So first thing become, then second comes, then there are some people those who realize, oh, I'm trying to enjoy so much, but then my life is very futile and temporary. There has to be something which is beyond this sense gratification. So they think my material body is temporary, and they want to enjoy. But then what they do, they try to fulfill their materialistic desires through a spiritual garb. Hello, लवकर बोल. 2 मिनिट. सोडल डायरेक्ट सोडतो मी. 2 मिनिट. हाँ. So then second category is sakam karmi. You can say we call them karma kandis or karma kandis. They believe in God, but they use God for their own sense gratification. Their ultimate goal is still sense gratification only. But they use dharmic principles or religiosity for fulfilling their own spiritual sense gratification only. So they are sakam karmis or karma kandis. They use karma kanda, they use pious activities, they use everything. For them, heaven is the ultimate goal. They don't think anything beyond heaven. They feel my ultimate goal is heaven. Then beyond them comes Adhyatmavadi, and these Adhyatmavadi will have 3 categories, or spiritualists. They are theist people. They are astic, sakam karmis. Adhyatmavadis are a slightly above, and they know difference between soul and body. They know difference between soul, that soul is permanent, body is temporary. And within those 3, there are 3 categories. First category is Nirakarvadi, or we can say Mayavadi. Second category is Nirakarvadi, or we call them many times we call them Jnani Yogi. The second category is Dhyan Yogis. Dhyan Yogis means, or we call them Ashtanga Yogis. And then third category is devotee or bhakta. You are able to understand this? So Sakam we are above these Adhyatmavadis or spiritualists are some they know this difference between soul and body. They know that soul is permanent, body is temporary. But within that category, then within those there are 3 categories. One is Mayavadi or Jnani. Jnani Yogi means what? They know that soul is permanent, body is temporary, but then they have no clarification about the ultimate truth. So ultimate truth also has 3 levels. So Nirakarvadi or Mayavadi will reach only up to the Brahman platform. Brahman or Brahma Jyoti. They will see that okay, I'm not this body. Material environment is not my conclusion of life. But then maybe there is maybe Supreme Person of Godhead is all pervading. They don't have personal concept of Krishna. They don't have personal concept of God. So they feel, because it is very practical to accept this, that everything is done by the supreme energy, and the supreme energy is all pervading. God is light. God is love. Yeah. So like that they will have philosophy. So it is not wrong, but it is on the lowest level of God understanding. You understood? Why? Because they are very close to atheist. Very close to atheist. As almost atheist. Only fact that because they believe supreme being is nirgun or nirakar, what do you say, formless. Therefore, we don't have any responsibility towards it. Therefore, they don't have any rituals, they don't have any responsibility towards Supreme Person, because they don't have any relationship. Then there is Dhyan Yogis. Dhyan Yogis or Ashtanga Yogis. Ashtanga Yogis follow this Yam Niyam, Pratyahar, Pranayam, Asana, up to Samadhi. Okay, these Ashtanga Yoga, 8 rhythms of yoga. Okay, they are Ashtanga Yogis. So for them, they are slightly above. So they are one Paramatma near to Bhagavan. I will write in English also, sorry. Paramatma and Bhagavan. Okay. So these are 3 stages of realizing the Supreme Brahman. First stage is Brahman stage or Brahma Jyoti stage, wherein you realize God as the supreme all-pervading being, and then the second stage is Paramatma. You don't realize only it as an all-pervading energy or the light, but rather you also realize that God is there in everyone's heart as Angushta Matram Amalam. Angushta Matram in the size of a thumb. Krishna is there in every living entity, in the heart of every living entity, Paramatma. So then Ashtanga Yogis or Dhyan Yogis are slightly above Jnana Yogis or Mayavadis or Nirakarvadis. Okay. So they meditate on Supreme Person of Godhead within their heart, Paramatma. And then third is Bhagavan or devotees. Those who worship Krishna as a supreme being who has a personality, who has pastime. So these devotees have understanding of Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Avatar, and Dham. You understand? Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Avatar, Dham. Because when you understand Supreme Personality as a person, then person will have some name, then person will have some form, person will have some qualities. He is nice, he is benevolent, he is merciful, he is omnipresent, he is kind, he is laughing, he is loving. All those qualities will come good. And then if he has qualities, then he will have pastimes also. He is acting like a child, he is acting like a father, he is acting like a friend, he is acting like Sakyaras, Dasaras, everything will come in the Leela part. And then Avatar, he will have very multifold incarnations. He will come as Narasimha, he will come as Rama, he will come as Balaram, he will come as Krishna, Balaramji, whatever. And then he has his own abode. You understood? So this variegatedness of Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Avatar, Dham is not available for the first 2 stages. Because, so now we will come to that line of Prabhupada. What is he saying is that those who think of ours are not yogis. They meditate simply on more and more level, substantially. So they are going, see in this, one more difference which I forgot. This Nirakarvad or this Mayavad is all about Avroha. Avroha means, sorry, Arohan. Arohan is written like this. And Bhakti is all about Avarohan.
Krishna Prabhu, there's some disturbance when you're talking in the background.
Sorry. No, actually, there is proper japa wala chalu mere. Now it is okay?
Stage is coming a little bit.
Actually, someone else's mic is on. This Padma Mataji mic is on. Someone else's mic is on. Hare Krishna. Krishnamurti. Krishna Murthy, Lalita, Vinodi. There are many participants, those mic is on actually. Someone can mute them all, please. Now it is fine.
You have to make somebody who posts.
Prabhuji, the Ashtanga yogis know the Yama, Niyama, then what, Prabhuji?
Okay, Yam, Niyam, then Pratyahar, then Pranayam, then Yam, Niyam means what to do, Yam means what to do, Niyam means what not to do. Pranayam means the breathing exercises, Asana means physical exercises, Pratyahar means restriction. Actually, these are all very detailed. And last stage is actually Samadhi. There are 8 stages of Ashtanga yogis. Okay, so they meditate, they try to realize Krishna as the supreme Paramatma within everyone's heart, Paramatma. So they are how Jnanis, but they are below Bhaktas because the realization of the Supreme Personality is only in regards to what we call actually it is my own mouth. Now it is okay.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Just before Samadhi, what's that word? I don't know much about Hindi.
4, 5 asana. Yam, Niyam, Pratyahar, Pranayam, asana. Yam, Niyam, Pratyahar, Pranayam, asana. 7th stage I actually forgot. 7th stage is 7th stage. I will get back to you. There are 8 stages, out of which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we know. The 7th and 6th and 7th I will know. Dharana. Yes. Someone actually put it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Dharana is there. Okay. So those stages are not important for us, Mataji. It is, I'm going back to this because as we need to know whenever Prabhupada says Mayavadis, we need to understand who are actually Mayavadis, who are actually Dhyan Yogis, Ashtanga Yogis, who are actually this. So their stage of realization of the Supreme Personality is on different level. See, it is very easy for if someone comes and tells the Supreme Personality is a light. So sometimes people, because they don't have that understanding of personality of a personal aspect of Supreme Personality, they feel it is more intellectual, believing it to be in formless light which is governing the whole creation. You understand? So they find this process is all about Arohan. Arohan means when someone climbs the mountain, in Sanskrit it is called Arohan, Parvata Arohan. They say Arohan means when by your own endeavor, if you try to understand and try to climb up the mountain, that is called Arohan. Arohan means Mayavadis and these Ashtanga yogis, these both processes, they rely mostly on the endeavor of that person, how he tries to meditate. But Avarohan means someone is already on the top of the mountain, he's pulling you up with the rope. That is Avarohan. So Bhakti is all about disciplic succession. Bhakti is all about there is a guru who has got the blessing of Krishna and then he's pulling you up. So in that stage, you don't rely on your own knowledge. Like there are 3 pramans. Have you heard of these 3 pramans? Pramans, or what we can say, 3 ways of acquiring knowledge. I think all devotees must have known this. Isko pata hai 3 ways of acquiring knowledge?
Pratyaksha Praman.
Pratyaksha Praman means experimental knowledge. You try to do experiment with material world and try to gain knowledge. And the experiment depends upon your senses only. And then comes Anuman Praman. Anuman Praman means imagination. Whatever experimentally you have acquired from your senses, you try to imagine and you try to analyze it on your mental level and try to understand those things. But then Pratyaksha Anuman, these 2 processes rely heavily on Pratyaksha and Anuman. Which these 2 processes? Pratyaksha and Anuman. You understand? But the third and the best process is Shabda Praman. Accepting the words of the authority. That Shabda Praman is followed in Bhakti tradition. There is an Acharya who says Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna, he is a person. Then how much ever experiment you try to do, you will, to get to that conclusion, it will take millions of lives. So this Mayavad and this Ashtanga Yoga, they rely heavily on their own experimental knowledge or on their own mental speculation or on their own analysis of understanding the supreme truth. But even if we spend millions of life with that speed of mind, try to understand the Supreme Personality, we will not be able to do. The best example which is given by Prabhupada in this regard is a son trying to understand who his father is. If by Pratyaksha Praman and Anuman Praman he tries to understand who his father is, he will have to analyze the DNA samples of all the males who are about 25. It will take many lifetimes for him to understand, what to speak of understanding his father in this single lifetime. So best is accept the authority of the words of your mother, that this fellow is your father. Complete, you get the complete knowledge. Why? Because this is our own process. Someone who is on the top is already directly pulling you. So then that knowledge is faultless. You understood? So because they have rely heavily on their own personal level, Prabhupada is saying it is a simple labor, undergoing more and more labor. Klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam. And their ultimate gati, they say, is merging into that impersonal Brahman. See, even though in the bound stage, we are now bound by material world. We are bound in this material world, bound by this material body. Still, soul is very active. You see anyone who is relaxed here in material world, everyone is doing so much of endeavor. So even in bound stage, for example, if there is a jail and there are so many prisoners in the jail, so within prison, if some prisoner is very active and doing so much artistic things, he's a good carpenter, he's a stone cutter, he's a very good painter. So government also releases him because he's very active inside the prison. He will be contributive in the outside the prison. So if the soul, even in the bound stage, if the soul is very active, what to speak uh, when it becomes free, then how much that soul will be active? Though how can we even imagine that that Brahman realization after merging into that Brahman, soul has nothing to do, and then they fall down as philanthropists or big businessmen, big politicians. Why? Because even after achieving that level of perfection, moksha or gati of merging into the Brahma Jyoti, they have nothing to do there, and soul can never be inactive. So how can that Mayavad understanding can be even assumed to be true? You understanding the point? Soul needs relationship. We need relationship with Krishna. We need personal activities. We need to enter into the pastime of Krishna, because we were all engaged in all the different pastimes with Krishna. Wherein there was variegatedness, there was Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Avatar, and we were part of all those things. So understood. So therefore, Prabhupada is saying it is only labor. You do all the struggle. You do all the struggle, and what do we call? The whole thing will go into vain. Why? Because even after getting that gati, that Mayavadi people again come back to this material world, because their soul is not getting the bliss. Because soul does not want peace. इंडिया में बोलते हैं ना ओम शांति, वो उनको उनको परमात्मा में विलीन हो गए, उनको शांति मिल गई. No, soul is not satisfied by shanti. Soul needs bliss. We don't need peace. Peace and then bliss. Only peace is just absence of sorrow does not make you happy. You need a positive activity also. Okay. Therefore, after meditation, they say, "Come on, give me a cigarette. Come on, my throat is now dry. Give me a cigarette." Prabhupada is very graphic here. Many Mayavadi yogis and so many people, they do meditation sessions, and after that they need intoxication, because they are not satisfied. But here you see in the devotional service, devotees are chanting for hours together. There are 24-hour kirtans, there are 3-hour kirtans, 4-hour kirtans. You see many sannyasis, Vivekanand Maharaj, Indradhanush Maharaj, they can chant single tune, single Mahamantra for hours together. Madhavpur, you see, once actually, when Maharaj was giving class, he said, while doing kirtan, devotees, whatever he was doing, he used to repeat the single tune for half an hour, 1 hour, like that. And then he used to say that I am doing this kirtan repeatedly, same tune, because I want devotees to rise above the tune part, and they should focus on the holy name part. Most of the time we like kirtan because, oh, this tune, and then that tune will come, then this tune will come, then this variation Maharaj will do. All that is fine, but there should be some stage wherein we should rise above the tune part, and then we should only focus on the holy name part. That stage is very later on. But point here Prabhupada is trying to say is, even after so much of meditation done by Mayavadis, they need intoxication, external intoxication. That is not meditation. Meditation means thinking of Krishna always, satatam chintayanto ma, and endeavoring to advance in Krishna consciousness with a firm vow. Yatantascha dridhavrataha. We have to be purified. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Because Krishna is pure, we cannot approach Krishna impurely. Now, here is a catch. Here is a catch. What is the catch? Now, someone might say, see, if I am not pure, I can't approach Krishna. So, what is Prabhupada saying? Because Krishna is pure, we cannot approach Krishna impurely. So, now someone will say, I am not pure, so how can I approach Krishna? But then, the solution here is, the process of approaching Krishna itself will make you pure. Like, if there is some duty, you will say, Prabhuji, will you do offering? No, Prabhuji, I am very fallen, I can't do offering. Prabhuji, you will do deity worship? No, Prabhuji, I am very fallen, I can't do. Prabhuji, you will do give class? No, Prabhuji, I am very fallen. It's not that we need to become pure to do that service. By doing service, we will become pure. Yes, it is correct that. हाँ मैं देख कर थोड़ा मेरा भी क्लास चल रहा है You understood the point I'm trying to convey here is, service will give purity. So just because in our impure stage we can't approach Krishna does not mean that we stop approaching Krishna, because the process of approaching Krishna will itself will make us pure. So one time one reporter asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, why are you chanting Hare Krishna? Prabhupada said, what is the goal of your chanting Hare Krishna? Prabhupada said, goal of chanting Hare Krishna is to chant more Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said, then the reporter said, what will you do by chanting more Hare Krishna? Prabhupada said, we will chant more and more Hare Krishna. So our goal and our process both are same. हमारा साध्य और साधन same है. Our goal and the process is same. We are not chanting, like for example in Mayavadi tradition, or maybe say in Ashtanga Yoga tradition, their process is different and their goal is different. Process is, I will do tapasya, I will restrain my senses. Like karmis, what they do, karma kandis, they will restrain their senses, they will do pious activity. But goal is not to be like that. Their goal is, as soon as I get into Swarga, I will do all the enjoyment possible in this whole creation. Same with Mayavadi. Their goal is, moment I merge into Supreme Personal Godhead, I will become the Supreme. I want the Supreme control. But in Bhakti, difference is, our process is serving Krishna and goal is serving Krishna. You understood? There is no difference. Only difference now is, we are serving now as regulative principle. And after achieving that goal, we will serve Krishna as pure, loving emotion. You understood? Activity has not changed. Now when as a sadhaka we are serving because someone is behind us. Prabhuji kijiye, mala kijiye. Someone is asking you to do some. We are doing it as a regulative principle. But after becoming pure, our action will remain the same. We are still serving Krishna only, but our serving is pure loving emotion. We are not asked by someone. There is no counselor sitting behind us. Arey karo, mala kiye ki nahi, ye kiye. No. We will do it naturally by our own way. That is the process and that is the goal. Why? Because ultimately that is what we are supposed to do in Golok. We are constantly engaged in service of Krishna only. So therefore, these prayers are like, now I'll come to that. So those who have achieved this stage, they are Mahajans, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, all these Bhagavad personalities, Kunti Maharani. So what are these prayers? Prayers are like, I'll tell you. Have you seen this? If someone is drinking some sweet milk. मॅडम ते पाठवायचं राहून गेलो, उद्या पाठवतो मॅडम, उद्या पाठवतो. हो उद्या पक्का मॅडम, तो माझा माणूस विसरू. हा मॅडम. If there is one example which I heard from Radha Gopinath. He said these prayers are like nectar for all of us. So, for example, if a person is drinking milk, sweet milk, and supposedly you say 1-2 drops of milk falls down while drinking, एक दो बूंद milk गिर जाता है, तो that sweet milk which is only 1-2 drops of which has fallen on the ground, hundreds of ants will come and snatch over it. It is the feast for those ants, is it not? It is just 2-3 drops which has fallen from the cup of the person who is drinking that sweet milk or rabdi, you can say. But that sweet rabdi of 2-3 drops, it's like the feast for those ants, those who are gathered around it. So Radha Gopinath Prabhu was saying, pure devotees are like the person who is drinking that sweet nectar of Krishna's mercy or Krishna's praying, Krishna praying. They are drinking it, and their prayers are like 2-3 drops of rabdi which has fallen from their mouth on the ground, and we are like ants. Even that 1-2 drop of milk which is rabdi, which is there on the ground, it is like nectar for us. Why? Because we are on the ant stage. We are like ant stage. Hello? अरे काम लवकर बोल. कुठं थांबायची? कोणती गाडी? हो नाही, तू डेपोट झाल्यावर मी टाक. ठीक आहे? तू डेपोट झाला. You understood? So we are like those ants, and for us, even those 1-2 drops are like, for example, how many verses? Kunti Maharaj said 26 verses. Prahlad Maharaj, Bhishma, 20-30 verses they are speaking, but even those 20-30 verses are like rabdi for us. It's huge enough for us to drown us in the ocean of nectar of Krishna prema. So that is the importance of this. Where was I? But if we think of Krishna always and meditate upon Krishna, then we shall be purified. Punya Shravana Kirtana. See, Krishna, Prabhupada is linking. You cannot approach Krishna being impure, but then thinking about Krishna will make you pure. That meditation can be possibly by hearing and chanting. And then thinking of Krishna will automatically come. So the goal of chanting and hearing is that we automatically hear and chant. You understood? Prabhupada is giving that understanding of path and the goal. Both are same. The meditation can be possibly by hearing and chanting. And then means the ultimate goal will be thinking of Krishna will automatically come. That is the process of Krishna consciousness. Shravanam Kirtanah Vishnu Smaranam. The word Smaranam means remembering. If we chant and hear, then remembrance will automatically come. And then we shall engage in worshipping Krishna, lotus feet, Sevanam. Then we shall engage in the temple worship, Varchanam, and offering prayers, Vandanam. We shall engage ourselves as Krishna's servants, Dasyam. We shall become Krishna's friends, Sakhyam. And we shall surrender everything to Krishna, Atmanivedam. This is the process of Krishna consciousness. So how many things Prabhupada told here? Navida Bhakti, 9, process of a devotional service. Which was the first one? Which is the first one? Shravanam.
Shravanam and Kirtan.
Who is the Acharya for this process? Who exemplified Shravan?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Very nice.
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshita, Prahlad Maharaj.
No. Hearing is Parikshit
Maharaj.
Okay. I'm actually writing in Marathi. So, Devanandi. Parikshit Maharaj. Okay. Because he is Acharya for Shravanam. He constantly heard from Sukadeva Goswami. Rapt attention. He in fact forgot eating and sleeping. Everything he forgot for last 7 days of his life. He's the ultimate person about hearing. Then who will be the Acharya for Kirtan?
Sukadeva Goswami.
Very nice, very logical. If the person who is listening from him is the acharya for hearing, then someone who is speaking will be the acharya of kirtan. Because if the listener has forgotten his eating and sleeping and everything, his bodily comforts while listening, then even the speaker will have to forget his own eating and sleeping. And you understood the logic. So Shukadeva Goswami. Which is the third process?
Vishnu Smaranam.
Vishnu Smaranam.
Who is the acharya for Smaran? Who is the
Prahlad Maharaj Prabhuji.
Prahlad Maharaj. Hanuman.
No. What do you say? How many of you seen this movie, recent movie, Narsimha, Mahavatar Narsimha? Have you seen it or not? Very nicely directed, very nice.
Yes,
Very
yes, Prabhuji. We saw it.
devotional. Yeah, so
Saw
he's
it,
acharya
Prabhuji.
of
It's a
Smaran.
very nice movie.
You all remember the scene when Krishna actually appears before him? He says, I am not qualified to even see you, Krishna. If you want to show me your darshan, you show me. And what a scene that is. How many of you might have even cried also? Very nicely. The dialogues are very nice.
Yes,
Very apt.
so good, Prabhuji.
Too good. And then Krishna says to him, see, I am your servant actually. Huh? A devotee like you, I want to be your servant. Such a touching movie that was. Very nice. So that is Smaranam. Why? Because Prahlad Maharaj constantly engaged into Krishna's Smaranam. His mother tells him, Arey, why can't you even forget Krishna for some time, at least to be alive? You, please. I beg you. He says, I just can't do that. It's just not in my control. How can I? It's like magnet. You can't stop iron being attracted to magnet. If there is a magnet, the iron needles will, by hook or by crook, they will go towards the magnet. So Krishna is that magnet, I am like that iron needle. I will just move, go towards that. And you can't control, I can't control. Can you imagine the level? So that is what I'm trying to. The process is now someone, we need to do it as a regulation. Someone has to regulate us. प्रभु जी 2 बजे क्लास है, आओ 2 बजे क्लास है, 2 प्रभु जी इवनिंग में सेशन है, रीडिंग करो, ये करो. But people like Prahlad, but they have achieved that goal, so they are naturally they are doing it automatically, purely, lovingly, emotionally they are doing it in such a way that no one has to tell them कि अभी कुंती महारानी का क्लास है, चलो अटेंड करो. So that is our not it. I am talking of myself. It is my stage. Smaranam is Prahlad Maharaj. Smaranam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. And what is that?
Padasevanam.
Who is Acharya for this?
Lakshmi Devi. Goddess Lakshmi.
Very nice. So single Mataji is giving the answer or what? I want everyone to contribute in this. Huh? Some Mataji, single Mataji only give. Father Sevanam is Mother Lakshmi. She is constantly engaged in serving the lotus feet of Lord. He is constantly serving Krishna. So those who have deities in their deity altar, they can also engage in Pada Sevanam, means they can do this Pada Sevanam, or what do you say? No, deity worship will have a second. Pada Sevanam, Smaranam, Vandanam. Fifth is, who is fifth?
Archanam. Archanam.
Archanam.
Archanam means
Ritu Maharaj.
Deity worship.
Deity worship.
who did grand deity worship? See, we can.
Ambarish Maharaj also did that.
What?
Ambarish Maharaj.
No, he is not in this.
He did all 9 types, no, Prabhuji.
I will come to him also. Ritu Maharaj, he built huge temples and did grand deity worships. Okay. And then Archanam, then
Vandanam Akrura.
what
Akrura.
is the sixth one?
Vandanam
Don't look into the
Akrura,
purpose.
Prabhuji.
Vandanam Akrura.
what is the process first? First tell the process. Who is okay? Rekha Mataji and Rajeshwari Mataji give answer. Huh?
Offering obeisances, Prabhuji.
Vandanam. Vandanam is offering prayers. Who is Acharya for this? Very nicely told. Akrurji. Akrurji is he was very prayerful. When he went to Vrindavan, he prayed to Krishna. Then while going back, so constantly he was in a prayerful mood. Akrur. Some actually also say this Uddhav also. No, leave it actually. Seventh is
Dasyam.
Dasyam.
Hanuman. Lord Hanuman.
Dasyam is serving Sri Hanumanji. See who can serve Sri Ram more than Hanumanji. He was so eager.
He- Prabhuji, even Garuda also can
Yes,
be
there's
considered.
both of them are constantly serving Krishna. Constantly serving. They are constantly in service. So whatever Krishna wants, they are ready to do constantly. See, it's not that if some acharya is there in this, that does not mean that he's not doing all the other seven or eight. No, everyone is doing everything. It's not that Hanumanji is doing Dasyam does not mean he's not doing Sarvanam Kirtan. No, everyone is doing, but this is a kind of we give a special importance to them because they did this one aspect very more, much more like that. And then 8 is
Akyam.
Sakyam.
Arjuna.
Arjuna.
Sakyam. Sakyam. Sakyam is who? Sakyam means friendship.
Arjuna.
Arjuna, Prabhuji.
Nice. And the last,
Total surrender.
Atmanivedanam.
Atmanivedanam.
Bali Maharaj.
who?
Bali Maharaj, Prabhuji. Atmanivedanam.
Bali Maharaj. Very true. Now you tell me one critical thing. What is Atmanivedanam past time through Bali Maharaj we learn? What actually he gave away to Vaman Dev? What actually he gave away?
Himself, Prabhuji.
Gave himself, Prabhuji.
What do we mean by himself? What he gave actually?
Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. All his body, all his
Whole,
mind and
Yes. All those 8 things are correct. Kayana vacha manasendriya buddhyatmanam pratisvabhava. Karomi yadmin sakala karasme narayana iti samarpyami. I give everything. My vacha, my karmana vacha, everything. But the ultimate thing which a living entity has to give to Krishna as
Right.
Atman full surrender.
Pride, self.
that soul, that willingness, free will.
Actually, yes.
Serve the Lord.
We will, or you can say the ego part. Ahankar. See, soul is the first layer. The first layer to the soul is ego. Then there is intelligence. And then there is mind. And then there is 5, what do you call? 5 material elements. Bhumi, Rapo, Anolo, Vayu, Khamman, Buddhi, Revacha. So first layer over soul is ego. That ego part has to go away. Even the slightest of ego should not be there while going into spiritual world. Bhakti Maharaj once gave a class. He was saying, entry to the spiritual world is not a huge door. It's the door of the size of the soul only. So only the soul can pass into it. If there is even the slightest covering of ego above it, even 0.00001 mm, soul will not be able to go. It's not. It's a metaphorical example just to convey that. What do we mean by giving up everything is giving up of our ego, giving up of our controlling mentality. See, we are all here in this material world because we wanted to control this spiritual control. We wanted to become minute Ishwara. हमको ईश्वर बनना था ना. So Krishna is taking away that ego part of Bali Maharaj. So that is Atmanivedan. Okay. And then Ambarish Maharaj has done everything together. He is the epitome of everything. You understood? Here all very elevated devotees. I'm very happy to discuss with you. Actually, it is not for your benefit, but it is for my own purification that I accepted this service of taking this Kunti Maran prayers. So you all understand, by these ways, we can do even, see, Shravanam Kirtanam to compulsory we need to do, chanting and hearing and daily lectures and daily sessions and everything, reading and Smaranam. Along with that services, all the 9 processes, we should try to do as much as possible. And ultimate, the last one is Atmani Evidan, is full surrender, means surrendering, try to surrender our ego part. Ego part means even small instances wherein we do some service, but other devotee gets appreciated. How do you react to this? That is where our Atma Evidanam comes into picture. Are we doing some service for self credit? Are we doing it just to please Krishna? Or that minute understanding of Atma Nivedanam has to be there. So with this, we end the session. Sorry, I could not complete actually I completed this. The next speaker can continue with the 6th verse. Thank you very much for patient listening. Anyone has any doubts or anything, we can discuss or we can end the session.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, 130, soul is covered by ego. Another thing, what all is it, Prabhuji?
Soul is 8 coverings, Mataji.
8 coverings.
8 coverings. First 3 coverings are mind, ego, intelligence, and mind. And then earth, fire, water, air, ether. Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayor, Kham, Manor, Buddhi, Revacha. There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita which says that soul is covered with 8 layers. Ahankara iti yamme karta aham iti manyate. With that last covering is ahankar, because of which karta aham iti manyate. So living entity thinks that I am the doer, I am doing everything, my body, my intelligence, my capacity, because of which I am doing this so much grand things in material world. But then Krishna says it is all futile. So 8 coverings are mind, intelligence, ego, and then 5 panchatatvas: earth, fire, water, air, ether. Okay, those 8 coverings are there on the soul.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can you please tell me what is the Shabda Praman, the meaning?
Shabda Praman means, Mataji, Pratyaksha means experimental, Anuman means imagination or analysis. Shabda means you follow the authority of someone who has understood that knowledge. Shabda means
Sound, no?
sound, authoritative sound.
Okay.
Authoritative sound does not, see, Shabda Praman does not mean you follow sound of every Tom, Dick and Harry. No.
Yeah, I understand.
Authority of that subject, his words are the ultimate authority in that field.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Understood. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I think Prabhupada has written in Nectar of Instruction. In the purports, he has written clear explanation of this.
Yes, all those things. So many, actually, we had a jumbled discussion of various topics, actually.
Prabhuji, thank you so much for the wonderful class, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. We are very grateful to you. Thanks.
We can end the session, Mother. So you are the host, we can end the session.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Patitanam Pavane, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.